Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Open the Mic podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Wes Ross. We got Omar Finley.
Hey.
And now we're going to be talking to Terrence. I forgot how that cut was supposed to go. Terrence, what's happening, man?
Hey, man. Just warm. It's very warm in here.
Yeah.
It's cooling down, actually, but it was very warm when I got here.
I don't think it's cooling down. It feels pretty hot.
You forgot our guest.
It's cooling down.
Well, we're going to introduce him next.
We're gonna introduce him after we do a brief chat. You don't listen. You don't look at the notes.
There is no notes. We never got any notes.
Okay.
We never got any physical notes or electronic notes where I could look.
There are electronic notes.
We don't even have the last episode.
Well, yeah. We have Jeremiah in the corner admonishing Wes for not uploading the last episode.
That's on me. That's my
Even
bad.
though they recorded at the same time
That's
as the
on you.
previous. You got anything else you want to say? He just waved his hand.
You asked him if he had anything else to say. He waved at you like this was video and not podcast.
I know.
That was nice of him.
I know. It reminded me of like those subtle slights from church you get when like the pastor would say something and then the deacon just go, okay.
That's my favorite thing of going to Baptist church, when you can see other people on stage as the preacher's preaching. That's a lost art.
It is.
Non-denominational world doesn't do that as much. It's just a shame.
I went home for a funeral, and the slight that I got, I hadn't seen my pastor, who's been my pastor since I was a baby, since he christened me. I hadn't seen him in basically a decade, and he did the whole funeral rites. And then I said, I had my mask on. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? It's good to see you, Pastor Holden." And he was like, "Mm-hmm," and he just walked off.
He didn't know who you were?
Didn't know who I was, and that's when I knew I was going to go to hell. It's good. Yeah, man, we got a lot of good stuff on this episode coming up today. We got Terrence on here. We got a very special guest that's going to come on a little bit later. We haven't seen each other in a while. We've been talking a little bit about EGOTs and Grammys and all that beforehand.
I think his list was not updated too, because John Legend, I think, is on that list.
John Legend has to be on that list.
Can you look that up for me, Jeremiah?
I don't know anything about that world.
I feel like he really just recently got on there.
I feel like I remember that.
I feel like that just happened.
I'm not.
I don't know how he got the Tony, but I never really know how most people get the Tonys. Tony is like always it's always a Tony or the Emmy that's elusive.
That's not. I don't like keep up with
Those
that at
things
all.
fascinate me. People that get multiple of those just fascinate me as a talent. Because like if you can do, some people can't. Some people trying their best to get one in their field, and some people just like, I can do all of that. So I'm gonna go get one over here. I'm gonna go get one over here. I'm gonna go get one over here. They got people that live in New York their whole life trying to get a Tony. They got other people just stroll in, get a Tony, and roll out. It's just like, let me just do this right quick, show y'all how it works, and then I'm gonna go over here. They got people who only want like a supporting Oscar actor, and then supporting like actor Oscar, and some people just go over there and get like a couple and dip out.
I mean, it's super disrespectful, but
Like Jared Leto only made like 7 movies. He got one. They got people that only act. That dude did that and went on tour. He didn't even watch the movie. He got one for Dallas Buyers Club. He's never seen the movie. Just did it. Just went over there and handled business and got out. Did a little 30 Seconds to Mars tour. They called him and be like, "Hey, can you come to Oscars?" He's like, "Sure." Had his long hair and everything. Just looking immaculate. That's his second talent.
John Legend, as a breakdown, he has an Emmy for Outstanding Live Variety Special in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Correct.
He has a Grammy for Best New Artist, Best R&B Vocal, Best Male Vocal, Best R&B Duo Group, Best R&B Vocal Group.
We get it.
And so on and so on. He has an Oscar for Best Original Song, Glory from Selma.
Correct.
And then his Tony is from Best Producer of a Play Revival, which is August Wilson's Jimmy.
Okay.
2017.
You got.
so he's there.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I don't love John Legend, but he do have talent just coming out of his ears.
Man,
Talent just falling
I
out.
love John Legend. I can say that. I'll say that on the record. I love John Legend.
You can say that. I
Yeah.
respect him.
Man,
Ordinary People is great.
Nah, Heaven Only Knows is my favorite song by him. Heaven. I'm not gonna sing it.
It's my favorite John Legend song. I really like that PDA song. What's the first one? The very first one, right when he got out, it was Kanye's in the video. What's that song? I Used to Love Her. Used to love her.
Yeah.
Whatever that song is, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Wes is looking very confused. He's
man.
like, I like his
That's
life.
before your time.
He's
That's
like-
before your
like
time,
Chrissy
and
Teigen.
probably not your genre.
You don't
No, that's
listen.
not really my genre.
You don't listen to that.
No.
When's the first time you heard of John Legend?
He was on Master of None like 3 years ago.
Man, are they gonna come out with another season of that?
I don't know. He's got in trouble and
See,
it went downhill from there.
He's also on that super talented list where they only do what they feel like.
Him and
So,
Donald Glover.
Him and Donald Glover, they just make stuff
I
when
mean,
they
he
feel like
owes
it.
us a season 3.
Just
Season
make stuff
2
when it
ended like.
He does owe us one. He also might never do it because he don't feel like it. He might go make a movie. He might have had a stand-up tour going where he's just trying to. He might be waiting on that.
I think I read somewhere he was like, he doesn't want to make it until he experiences something like profound in life again, which is like,
feel like he had one.
I feel like he did too, but like marriage or something like that, because like it would like kind of influence the story of like that'd be the next chapter of his life. But,
that would be pretty cool.
But
If
I
he
was like,
married that girl.
or if he got married in real life.
But I mean, what would that help him do with the storyline if you don't marry that girl?
That's what I'm thinking.
Marry that girl.
That show fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie.
They got some very awkward moments in Master of None. Like that time, I think when they get out of the car, the girl gets out of the car and they just riding. He didn't say anything. I didn't need to watch that. I heard
That
It was like
feelings.
tough.
it was too. It's the almost too realistic.
It is too realistic.
It's too realistic.
It is too realistic.
And there's no surrealism, and like that's what I like about Atlanta, because it's like it's realistic, but there's so much surrealism in it that like breaks the.
There's some fun.
There's fun in it, yeah. What's the
The whole Bibby episode was just great. I needed that in my life. That's my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. Bibby is I just need more of him. I watch a whole show of Bibby.
Bibby? That's such a universal experience for the barber. Like everyone's had that experience with their barbers, just ain't shit. Like my barber, I got my haircut like for that same funeral, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to get your haircut again, you gotta get it cut before June 4th." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "I'm going to the Dominican Republic." I was like, "Why the hell are you going to?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be gone for a month and a half. I'm going to DR. Don't call me." And then he did like another 10 minutes on chair hoppers and how he hated them. I said, "You're basically begging me to chair hop because I might need a fade before you come back July 30th." And I'm just out here ass out.
They had a video on I think Twitter that was just about somebody was walking around in New York during the coronavirus, like in this little gas station, and his barber walks up on him and he looks at him and he sees that fresh lineup. He looks at it, he's just like, "Let me turn around." He's like, I'm good. And he's like, "Turn around." And then he turns around, he shows him the stuff, and the barber just like, you can see him like his tears trying to come out of his eyes. And he didn't even like say that you betrayed me. He just kind of gives him a look and kind of walks away. It's one of my favorite things ever.
Have you ever? You ever had like just one barber? I'm sorry, it's hot in here.
No, I used to get my hair cut by Wendy at Caddyshack, and then I turned 16 and could drive on my own, and so I went to J-Rock Fire Cuts in Denham Springs.
I don't think there's nothing fire about that.
In Denham Springs.
J-Rock Fire Cut. You have to say the whole thing. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole moniker.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Denham Springs, shout out to y'all for not wearing none of y'all's masks ever.
Oh yeah,
They've been hurt. That's been really making me mad.
Y'all don't wear none.
I'm not working out there no more. I'm gonna get the Rona. Denham Springs ain't have it. Walker was out here big disrespectful. Like the Rona don't come out to Walker. I know it does. It's just very dangerous over there. I don't like it. And this was like mid-April too. They've been not on the mask. I don't even know the
I thought you were talking like right now. Like I've been easing up.
No. Also right now, but also the whole time. I ain't been on here since like April. I wanted to let that be known. Denham was out here nasty. It's very shameful.
Oh no, dude! I went to pick up some food from Chimes 2 days ago. It looked like a regular day, and then Fred's when stuff was open Friday, and it was packed. There was 30 cars in the parking lot Saturday morning. I said,
"Oh wow!" Well, I mean, I knew that was gonna be a way because people had to party.
Yeah, people are just out here willy nilly. Just
this would be the worst time to be like in young college.
Oh yeah,
because like the days when you don't have nothing to do, that's the best going out times. But now they can't go out. Hurts, and they be giving you all types of deals to make you come out during the summer because they need money. So that's when you get the best deals. Like right now, they can't get none of them though because they just need they at capacity anyway, or they're supposed to have capacities.
They don't have no capacity.
How you?
Because I know they ain't following the rules.
You a snitch.
Yeah, those fucking kids.
I'm not
Can't
a
stand
snitch.
them.
Sound like a snitch to me.
Takes one to know one.
All right, I'll be that.
You told on your sister when you were a kid?
Sometimes, but I was normally in there. She's more of a snitch than I was. She's older. She had no allegiance. My sister had no allegiance whatsoever. I would tell her stuff in confidence. She'd be like, bet. And then go tell her like immediately after.
I couldn't.
Immediately after.
I'm so glad I didn't grow up with any of my siblings.
She don't have that in her no more. But back in the day, it was a bit of a trouble.
I'm so glad.
It's hard to build trust that way. It's very hard to build trust that way.
Yeah. My cousin and I were like always button heads. He was steal from me though, so I would tell on him for that. Like when I first met my cousin, because sometimes you don't know sometimes you don't know you have a cousin until later in life. I first met him, he stole my I had to be like 10. You ever experienced that, Wes? So you just find out you got some family?
Nah.
Oh, it's just me.
I know I have one right under me that's like I didn't meet him until I was probably 12 and I think he was 11. That was cool. But everyone else around, we already knew each other because like we grew up around each other. It was very fun to meet him though.
I was like, I had to be like 10, 9. He was like 6. And it was right when those Burger King was doing the Pokemon, gold Pokemon plated cards. And I showed off my Charizard one and my Pikachu one. And then
he jacked you?
And he jacked me. And the only reason we found him and found out is because when he was trying to walk out the house, his feet was clanking. And you could hear the metal in his shoes. And my mom said, "What's in your shoes?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing." And she was like, "Take off your shoes." And sure enough, he had each one of them in one of his shoes. And that's when I knew I didn't like him.
What's he up to nowadays?
Oh, he's doing good. He's in Dallas.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. He's straight now. But he did that. He stole my Yu-Gi-Oh cards twice.
Sometimes stealing is in the game, man.
But he was a good stealer, but then he liked to gloat. And so he would do stuff like play against you in Yu-Gi-Oh and then use the cards that you knew he didn't have.
Like a super villain.
Yeah, like a super villain. He would do that. He was very
get too caught up in his own genius. Told on himself on accident.
That's how he got caught every time. If he never told on himself, I would have probably lost all my shit. But yeah, man, I don't even know how I got on that. But yeah, I hate him.
Do you remember the first time you fought one of your cousins?
It was him. Only cousin I fought was him.
Have you ever fought a cousin, Wes?
Yeah, I fought a few. But it's at like my mom's family reunion, and they're on like the bad side of town, so it's just a lot of mud.
A lot of mud.
You pulled a knife on a cousin.
You pulled a knife on a cousin?
Yes, I did. Proudly. They tried to jump me and that cousin.
Dang.
We went to my grandpa's like kickback, his side of the family, and my grandmother said, "Be careful, they crazy over there." I didn't believe her. And then we were my grandpa's brothers, kids. And we were all hanging out and they were playing PlayStation 2. And then they started cheating in PS2 against me and my cousin who had stole from me. And I'm like 11 or 12 at this point. And he's like 8. And we were like, "Man, y'all cheating." And they were like trying to play dumb and act like we were stupid. And then they started bucking up. And it's like me and him, he's little. So
wait, so he was 8 when you were 12?
Something like that.
So he was 6 years old when he was jacking your Pokemon cards and shit?
That's what I said. He was 6. I swear to God. He jacked me. It was in his blood.
You were getting jacked by a kindergartner. And you had no recourse with the snitch. You should have just grabbed it from him.
No, my mom caught him.
So you couldn't even catch it yourself?
No, he's a genius.
Wow.
He's a genius. I will give him he stole immaculately. He should be on like he should have just, I wish he would have went pro. You know, like if he would have just
like if there was a league for Ocean's 11, he'd be in that league. Okay.
Yeah. He but no, so yeah, they started trying to fight, and he's small. It's me against 6 other dudes. So I just pulled the snake knife out of the sink, and I was like, "Yo."
Would you have intent to use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't pull it if I didn't want to use it.
I don't know.
But yeah, they said I wasn't wrong at the end. My grandmother did, because she said they crazy over there. So you got to fight crazy with crazy. You ever fought with a cousin?
Yes. That was like the only people I fought with for like most of like my early years of my life. Only really was I don't think I had anything close to a real school fight till I was probably in high school.
Really? You fought in high school?
It was a brief skirmish.
Did you get written up?
No, it was it was a PE. Sometimes in PE, those things don't happen. Most of the fights that happened in my middle school and high school time happened in PE, and as long as nobody snitched, nobody ever found out. There were actual fights that nobody found out about that happened in my school.
Oh yeah.
See, we got we got the phones now, so all our fights get.
Oh,
filmed.
see, I was a youth. See,
We had phones. They just didn't have cameras.
well, see, there was a time, and most people were good at saying we're gonna fight after school, which was really great. Sometimes PE just get your issue off in the locker room while everybody was changing back in their stuff, and then obviously in sports they fight all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a fight after school. We literally talked about it. Got off the bus, whooped that ass. I never fought in the locker room. But in high school, no, I didn't fight. But high school, I had gotten all of that out of my system. But I did see a guy lose to a pregnant girl in a fight, and that was very funny. Yeah.
I saw 2 pregnant girls fight at my school.
2?
Like,
2?
yeah, they were both pregnant, and
Were they pregnant by the same man?
I'm pretty sure that's what the occasion was.
Wow. In my hometown, there used to be a running thing where if you go to the Sonic on Highway 90, there was a 1 out of 5 chance. And by 1 out of 5 chance, I mean they might be there, you just didn't see them, that you would see a pregnant girl on skates working at Sonic. Oh, wow. I say 1 in 5 because I would be like, hey, we all going today. One person would see that person. And it was just a thing. I don't know why I was at Sonic and why they always had to skate, but that's just what it was. I don't know if it was maybe something in the gravy, that white gravy or something in there that made it a little different. But
The white. Hey, I used to love Sonic. I ain't gonna lie.
I used to get my junior year when I had a great metabolism. I would get the chicken strip dinner. I would get the strawberry slush, not the large, not the Route 44 because my car didn't fit one. And then I would get a corn dog, and I would get the mustard, and I would eat the corn dog on the way back to the house, and then I would get the business on that chicken strip dinner, and then I would take a Coke Zero and pour it on my slush after I got done with my slush, and I would shake that up, put it in the fridge while I got dressed for work. And I would go to work with that strawberry slush Coke Zero concoction, and it would make me happy. That was like every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Jesus Christ.
Made me very happy.
Man.
And I wouldn't really eat lunch because I was in high school because I knew I was about to eat in like 2 hours, so it was great.
We ate our lunch early as fuck. It was like
10:30?
one year we had it at like 9:30. I swear.
That's
We'd like
ridiculous.
get to school at 6 or 7, whatever, and then at 9:30, that's when our lunch was. That shit was so trash. And then we get out at like 3.
You went to school in Denham Springs?
Yeah, I went to Denham Junior. That was the junior high that did that to us.
Yeah, they probably have a real cafeteria that had to go to Taco Bell, so you gotta start early. Make sure everybody can get there in time. One bus going to Taco Bell, that bus get back to send the next group to Taco Bell. You got to start early, so you probably on the first one.
I was friends with the lunch ladies, so that's all. I was always friends with the lunch ladies and the janitors. That's like
The janitors are very important.
Yeah, they're key to
Janitors
you
are
knowing
very
shit.
important. If you forget a locker combination, if you get locked out of something, if you need to come back to school late because you forgot something in your locker after school closed, it's very important to know those people.
janitors. Except janitors are the best, except if they get pissed off at school, because then they will destroy the school. That happened to me.
Wow.
We came in middle school. It was like 8th grade. It's like right before the year ended. We came back to school one morning, and it was like he literally rubbed fecal matter all over screws, spray painted everything.
Whose fecal matter was it? Pray tell.
I don't know.
Oof,
I think it was like a cows or pigs or something like that. Because I went to school in the country, and and yeah, he spray painted it, and then like come to find out, it was all because he got caught washing personal clothes in the school washer machine, and someone could tow it on him, and he got mad about that.
Who's going to snitch on that though? That's
petty
A snitch.
people. A snitch. Yeah. Petty people.
Petty people do that. Petty people do that.
I just realized this is a waste of our real guest time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay. No, he's like keep it going. He's been. I feel like.
I want to do the sitcom talk, and I need him to be on it before.
Okay. Yeah. Let's switch over. We have a very special guest on the show today. We have Mr. Greg Williams.
Hey.
Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Greg Williams Jr., local director and owner of New Venture Theater, a black theater company here in Baton Rouge.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Baton Rouge, right?
Shut the fuck up.
Rouge. Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Shut the fuck. So you're the first non-comedian guest that we've had on the show.
Oh crap! All right, yay.
No, but you've been watching us kind of go back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah.
You ever fought a cousin? You have anything?
I
to add to
have.
that?
I actually fought a lot of cousins. It was weird. Like growing up, all of my cousins were like sports and big and bulky, and then I was like that little frail kid. And it was like, what is going on? But something happened. You know how it is. You get that glow up and a little grow up.
Oh yeah.
And after like college, I fought a lot of cousins. I have a lot of cousins in jail though. So I just, I have a lot of cousins about that life. So you have to have a little edge to you.
Oh yeah, that's like prior experience on a resume at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like in my family, everybody's growth spurt necessitated fighting with the person directly above them and directly under them. Just everybody's growth spurt. It was just kind of like fighting season.
Yeah, everybody got that cousin that'll F up the family reunion. Like everybody has
Yeah.
that one
Yes.
moment that here we go.
Here we go.
But
That's
that's
Tyrone.
one of those is important because one of mine is a girl, and I like that security of like if a girl puts hands on me, I can just walk away and I'm gonna make a call. And it's gonna get handled real quick.
Oof. Okay. Wes is like,
My female cousins
She's a
can't
wild
fight,
person.
so
he's just, you're looking so lost.
Mine can.
Female fights are the worst to break up. You're gonna get hurt.
I broke my nose in 7th grade breaking up a female fight.
Yeah, that's some guys will fight and we actually like place our punches. We know what's going. Girls, it's like limbs, legs, toes, hair, razor blades coming out of a thing, and you just gotta be careful. Like, oh my god, what do I grab? What do I grab?
I've learned never to try to split those up.
It's a fool's errand.
I'm never.
You can't win.
Can't win. I'm not doing it. So before we get started, we've had a lot of good stuff going on, but I really wanted to kind of switch the conversation on over a little bit, talking a little bit more about what you do in the community.
Yeah.
How long has New House Theater been going on?
It's a New Venture Theater.
New
We
Venture.
celebrating 13 years. Well, we were celebrating 13 years.
Shout out.
And then our friend COVID hit, but we
been
getting
fun.
ready for year 14. Hopefully we'll be back on our feet. But yeah, we started with 2005 and our first show around 2007. So we've done everything from Dreamgirls, Color Purple, piano lesson, you name it. So we started at Independence Park Theater, not too far from here, but now all of our shows are at LSU and the Shaver Theater. So yes, it's been, interesting to kind of pull a mix of all of these different people of colors and backgrounds to produce Black theater for this city. I didn't know what I was thinking when I started back, but it's taken off and it's a good thing, like Martha says.
That's so cool. I don't know about Wes, but I used to do theater a little bit. So I've always been interested in it, and I gravitate towards it a lot. So.
Yeah, a little dabble here and there.
I dabble.
Yeah.
I knew performing was going to be a part of my life for a very young age. So it's super awesome that like you're facilitating that growth in the community because we don't have a lot of that. And
Well, yeah, and like I love what they say about comedians because if you can do comedy, you can. That's why they always give freaking Oscars every year. Because if you can stand in front of a crowd and be that vulnerable, and you really have the same appreciation for strippers, because like anybody that can go up there and just like be the gun range that y'all become, you can do anything.
I agree. If you can strip or you can just do stand up, you can do anything in the world.
Because the crowd is literally sitting there like, make me laugh. As opposed to theater, they're like, okay, let's enjoy this experience. People are coming demanding something from y'all. That's pressure.
And you have like direct competition within your peers that's happening throughout. So like you could be a decent stripper, but like the one before you was just crazy.
Yeah.
And now you just up there and they're just like, well, not you. Mm-mm.
Bring her back.
Yeah. Why can't you do the backflip? She did a backflip off of that pole. Why can't you do that? And the same thing is like comics. Sometimes great comics show up and they just do a great thing and then you're up next and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So you just got to deal with like not being good enough. And once you get good with not being good enough, eventually it'll be a bad comic in front of you and then you be great by comparison. That's what I like about West.
You know you ain't having no response. We have to take a hit of the jewel. That's when you know you got a white person scared. They take a hit of the jewel first. They got to think they caught.
That's the joke I would normally give to Skip, but he's not here. And I was looking at West. So
That should definitely go on Skip. All right.
It's too late. He's
Skip's
always
earned it way more than me.
But he's not. You don't host the show. You host the show.
He can still listen.
I hope he is. But regardless, it had to go to you.
He took another hit.
Took another
He ain't had that snapback ready. Come on, Wes. You coming here fresh as fuck, and you couldn't say like
All my
something.
brain power went to my outfit, so it's
I
kind of.
respect, I respect that. See, I showed up. I showed a regular schmegular just to think about you.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the freshest ensemble of people on the show.
My shoes are cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got new shoes, but Greg and Wes, y'all really brought it especially with the short sleeve. I didn't get the memo.
Ooh, I live with these. Yeah, this is that summer. This is my summer collection coming out today. No, but yeah, I can't do anything long sleeve right now.
Struggle. It's a smooth 90 degrees today, and it's early June. I think
It's
tomorrow.
like 85.
I think tomorrow's like 90, 92.
Today is rude. Yeah.
It's gonna be in the 90s like all next week too.
And it's like we missed the entire spring. Everyone was locked away.
Yeah.
And now that we can kind of go outside, God is burning us with his magnifying glass. So
So many 65-degree days. Just we was inside the whole time.
just looking out the window.
I hate it every moment
Just
of it.
looking at
Yes.
it, dreaming of what that could feel like on your body.
No, I was outside. I was riding my bike. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I ran the
Oh,
neighborhood.
you were one of those recreation people.
I ran the neighborhood, but that was
I
it.
got. Hey, man, let the sun be out. A nice day. I got my bicycle. I can, eat it up on there. I had a little bit of spring, but not all of it. Let's just say that. Greg, I wanted to ask you one question before I only had one really specific question about theater. So,
Cool.
have you done a production or been a part of a production that you thought was meaningful in a, I don't know how I phrase this. Have you done a production or produced something that you thought was especially meaningful to the community, not just for art's sake, but actually sent a message or something like that?
No, yeah, for sure. We it was crazy. We had planned to do this show called Hands Up, which is 7 playwrights that wrote monologues about police brutality, and it was actually very different perspectives about the whole thing. And we had all of our marketing, and literally a week before the show opened, Alton Sterling happened.
Wow.
And it was like, what the F? And so NPR was calling, we had protesters. I actually had death threats because people thought we were doing the show in response. I'm like, literally, this has been on our website forever. And so we did it. We had a little picket group. It was actually intense, and it made me realize how kind of segmented Baton Rouge, it is, but I'm like, we really got some crazy people in the city. But to me, that show was the most powerful show that we've ever done. It just ran one day, and it was literally just 7 different perspectives on how people looked at, Black Lives Matter and police brutality. And when I looked at that audience, I think it was the most diverse audience we've ever had. And we had great talkbacks, we had great conversations, and people who saw the show really were thankful that we did the show. But I always love it when people hate on art that you don't even know what it is or don't even know what the experience is about. You just say, oh, that title can't be right. Kind of like when they always pick it, vagina monologues.
Yeah.
They always have that one group that shows up at every vagina monologue. I'm like, have you ever read the script?
Just read it once.
Yeah, I swear it's not dancing vaginas. I promise you.
It's super impactful, and kind of steers how you look and approach art after you do something that powerful, especially when it means something the community is especially when it's at a zeitgeist of outrest and all that. I was a part of it was actually a one day run of The Face of Emmett Till. And I was Emmett Till's cousin in the show, and we did that in Shreveport at the I forgot which theater, the one downtown. Oh man, it's
Southern Arkansas Centralplex.
no,
That's not what it's called.
no. There's never been a Southern Arkansas.
Eastern Texas
Eastern
Centralplex.
Texas.
No,
The
there's-
Arklatex Theater. The National Arklatex
Yeah, the Arkatex
Theater.
Theater. I've been there.
you've never been to a theater.
That was in Boise City. It's not.
You've never been to a theater.
It's not
Shut
nice.
up. Shut up.
It's not nice.
You've never been to a theater.
I've acted before
Where? In
when
the
I was
mirror?
little. Rose Art Theater. It's in Lake Charles. Give me another about it.
Anyway, yeah, F that. We don't care about that. You have to try
First
out.
you said
Who'd you
that-
beat out for the part?
Less talented people. I don't know.
Can't even come up with a name
Why would I know the names of people that are less talented than me?
because you're compassion.
No. No.
You're a bad person.
You've met me before. Why you surprised?
You're a bad person. I forgot what I was going to say. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. And you said I was compassionate. I'm look at me out here. You're welcoming you.
That's facetious though. That's not compassion.
It wasn't facetious at all. Who got you that ginger beer?
Ooh, now I want a Moscow Mule. Thanks a lot.
Jeremiah.
Mhm.
I'll lie.
Jeremiah didn't get you that.
Whatever. What about damn?
You're talking about theater.
I was talking about theater.
You did the Emmett Till.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I listen to you too.
He's like, where were we?
That's how compassionate I am. I listen to you too. Emmett Till, somewhere in Shreveport.
Face of Emmett Till. Yeah, we did a day run of the show. We rehearsed and things for months, and it just was like wildfire, and like everyone was there. I was like amazed at how many people were there. And then they were like, we might take this on a run. We might go and tour because people, the response was so great. And they were like, yeah, a couple of weeks later, like, yeah, some theaters in Mississippi want us to do this play. And I remember the girl, I forgot her name, but she played Emmett Till's mother. And there's a scene in there when Emmett Till's talking about going from Chicago to, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And in the play, it goes, Mississippi, they hang niggas in Mississippi. And she said that on the group call, and we were like, oh yeah, we're never doing this again.
Right, this ends today. Let us just put this in the vault like Disney used to do and lock it away.
But I mean, that stuck with me. That was 12 years ago. I was 16, and it was, I've always wanted to do something like that again, like try to like strike with intent, and perform with intent.
Hey, New Venture Theater.
Hey, I got a good side. I want to talk to you after this about maybe trying out,
Do it.
Yeah, for any character that's not named Terrence. If there's any shows that has a character not named Terrence,
Why would you be opposed to playing somebody named Terrence?
I don't want to look dusty.
Oh, wow. Shade.
It's not very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the character. You could make the character whoever you want it to be. How would the character look is based on you, bub.
No, it's based on the script. The
script's not gonna say
it's gonna
dusty.
say be a mean, incapacitated, dusty person.
What was the word you said after me? Did you say incapacitated? That's not a word.
Incompassionate.
Incompassionate?
Yeah.
Where you saw that word at?
In the book.
What book?
Book I wrote.
The Book of Make Believe.
Book of Mormon.
You're right.
The Book of Make Believe.
It's a word, ain't it?
I think it's uncompassionate.
I think everybody's
Whoa.
like, is it a word?
Nah,
Wait, it
wait.
sounds fancy.
I think it's uncompassionate. I think incompassionate is not a thing.
I need.
Jeremiah, look that up for us.
Hey, look that up.
I don't know if it's incompassionate, but it's definitely not uncompassionate.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
It's like when those Southern preachers always make up those words during this sermon. I'm like, is that a word? What?
When I like when the preachers make up like kind of law terms, and when they're doing analogies, and it's like they'll be like litigation, and you're like, wait, what?
Yes.
Huh?
Your litigation, your litigation, and your mitigation, and your preparation. Where are we going? That's why they last for.
I was right.
No, you're
No,
not.
read the word. Read the word.
I need new context.
Read the word.
Uncompassionate.
I need my apology, Wes.
Hey, that's on me. That's my bad.
Yeah. During that funeral I was talking about earlier, my preacher, he accidentally misspoke in his mass, and he was talking about Thomas betraying Jesus, and he was and he was talking about, when Jesus comes out, and he said, the nails in his hand, he was like, these nails, but it sounded like these niggas. And they have it on YouTube. It's the funniest thing in the whole wide world. Me and my grandmother laughed for 20 minutes about it. Me and my grandmother and my grandfather. Because I thought I was just hearing stuff and being a comedian. And then when we all got back from the funeral, everyone had their, like, we were eating. And then my grandmother goes, so did y'all hear him say nigga too? I love it. I love pastors messing up words. It's the best performance art.
It is. It keeps it fun.
It keeps it fun.
The lady that used to read the announcements at my church, like the bulletin,
Mm-hmm.
used to miss no less than 3 words per. And it would take, because we sat on the second row, it would take everything in me not to bust out laughing. Because when you can see the words and know exactly what she should be saying, and then hear her say the wrong word or stumble on the word, it's hard not to laugh at her.
Advertisements and program. What? Program.
next fourth Sunday, pastor's anniversary, we will have refreshments and
Refreshments is definitely one I've heard.
Congratulate all of our students who got their diploma. What?
these are the announcements. Sister Daniel's daughter has just graduated with her cum laude.
Yes. Our good friend, cum laude. Thank you. We're glad to have both of them here.
Oh man, what you got, Wes?
Me? I was just wondering, like, the very basics of theater, because I haven't done anything with theater. I was Snoopy in our second grade production of
You're a good man,
Peanuts
Charlie.
Christmas. What do you call it? Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown.
Ah.
You were
come on.
Snoopy?
Yeah, you know the one who doesn't talk.
Yo,
Yes.
in preschool, I was Toto in A Wizard of Oz, which means I was in every scene. I said exactly no words. I was in every scene though. It's a wild time. I had to get the big old frumpy dog suit too. It
My
might
grandma
have been,
made,
it might have been
like, a
racial.
Snoopy
It might have been
helmet for
racial. I
me.
couldn't analyze that at the age of 4, but it might have been racial.
That's good.
Black kid had to be Toto. I don't know about that. Wouldn't let me talk. It might be a thing. I haven't unpacked it.
But no, it's all like the foundation of it is a lot of improv. Getting used to your body and understanding how to take a character on and just how to get that presence on stage. So it really is kind of the foundation of what you guys do every day. And then
What we do. I don't know about him.
ooh, they are hard on you.
Yeah, it's tough out here.
Yeah. And it's just so I think it just grows from that. But I know for me, it all really started with improv, which used to scare the life out of me because I'm all about like thought, preparation. Like I would like to rehearse my improv before we do the improv if possible, but
Wow.
that don't work.
I can't read.
Do you not like?
I couldn't read that.
This because we're in an improv room right now, actually recording this. Is your does improv like make you kind of more fun to go back to now, having done like been involved in more theater than it probably did then?
Yes. Like now I think I would do it and it would just be a good time. But when you're getting that degree and you're getting a grade in it, it's like, and some people just naturally have that wit and naturally have like that just ability to let that energy flow and that quick. And some of us are very like placed.
Mm-hmm.
And if you throw something at me, I'm like, oh, that was good. I got, oh crap. I have nothing. But like now, I really do think I just want to do it because it's fun. And there's like, if I lose or flop, it ain't a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it.
I love that. I just messed up. First off, I wanted to say shouts out to, we are in an improv space right now. We are at Latco Theater, Leather Apron Improv Theater, recording this episode. They will be on the show next episode, I believe. You stole that from me.
Yes.
I know you were gonna do
They
it.
got sound effects
Oh
and
my
everything.
I
God.
saw it in your face.
Damn.
I know.
I hate you.
I just read people well. That's
Yeah.
all.
What was Greg? What was one of the favorite roles that you've done so far?
To believe it or not, like I actually am not a big actor. I love directing. There's just something about me. I love being the guy that nobody talks about. Because if people enjoy the show, they never talk about the director. They talk about the actors, costumes, everything else. And that's kind of like my dream is to have nobody notice me, nobody talk about me. Because that means I did my damn job. But if people are like, damn, that director, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. They're like, wah, shit, crap. But for me, I guess the best role that I've ever seen produced on stage was we did Dreamgirls. And my girl that played Effie was freaking out because she literally was like, everybody's coming to see Jennifer Holliday. And her voice was fantastic. It was gospel-y, but it wasn't Jennifer Holliday. And I was like, girl, like just be you. Go out there and leave it on the ground. You know the moments. You know what you got to do with the moments. And it just took an audience. And what I never was able to see, I just saw like her give this Tony Award winning performance. I want to just throw it and hit her on the stage with it in that moment. It was kind of like somebody that's never acted before gets it. And that light bulb goes off. I was like, nah, she's got the bug and I can't kick her off the stage. But it's like those moments that I live for. And that's why I like community theater. Because you get so many people that just want to do a dream about it, and then they get that chance, and then they just fall in love with it.
Awesome. I love that.
It's tough. I don't, like my biggest thing is with comedy, I can control the crowd more than, because you can do crowd work, you can get yourself out of a situation. With theater, I was just wondering, like, how does it feel when a line gets messed up? Is that where like the improv comes in?
Yep. And I think it's the same thing. Like, you'll tell a joke, and I'm sure have there ever been just like cricket, cricket, cricket. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then you kind of have like this oh crap moment, but you bring all the improv gods and spirits to your soul, and you find a way to make it happen. I remember in college, I sat on a nail, and literally I had to like manipulate myself and just like, because I had at least 45 minutes to sit in this chair. Of just like things that I could do that would make it so that I hopefully wasn't just creating a huge staph infection in my body.
What part of your body was sitting on the nail?
It was like under the good cheek, like right under the cheek. And I was like,
minimus.
I'm going to kill whoever left this here. And then I've had like situations, you got 30 seconds and that shirt doesn't button and you like rushing on to do it, or you drop a line and you'll just rewrite the script on, And it's kind of like those magic moments where you're just like, I did it. Okay, we good. And that's why I think we all love those live experiences, because it's on the spot and you get through it, and it's kind of like a little miracle that you just made happen for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How many stages of the improv happen? So if a guy messes up a line and his counterpart kind of takes it over with the improv, how far do they go with that exchange, or do they try and get it right back on that script?
I've had people that have skipped like 12 pages and then they try to work their way back some kind of way, but that rarely works, because then you end up really right back where you were, and the audience is like, what? Like, this has kind of already been here. But I've had situations where somebody will come out and they just completely blank, and you, after about 10 seconds, or somebody doesn't come on stage, and you literally just have to recreate. You know where you got to go. You know where you're trying to get to. So some kind of way we gonna all get there together. Whether somebody else needs to come on stage. I've had situations where somebody literally like hurt themselves, and we had to throw an understudy in the same outfit in less than 30 seconds. And one girl goes off, another girl comes on and just is ready to go, freaking out as she wants to do. But that's what it's about, That's what we do. We're performers, and show must go on or online right now.
Have you? I know you've done, like you said, Dreamgirls and some other productions. Have you written anything like original and produced any original stuff for the community theater?
I have. I wrote a musical called Sweet Georgia Brown, and I wrote a play that was it was a parody on Tyler Perry.
Like Boondocks parody, where he would be big mad and you would never see it in the light of day.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Because I've always respected, because I think it's comedy and it's based on stereotypes, and I get it, but it is so different than traditional theater. And so I was in a way trying to celebrate it, but I think a lot of people took it because it was during Tyler Perry's heyday, me being a hater. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna put that one aside. But
no, don't do that.
Now I'm like kind of slowly getting into film and writing screenplays. Like, with all of this time, I've just been like, okay, what's next? Because these fingers and this mind has to do something.
Yeah,
that's the creative process. So
I would love to read a Tyler Perry slander play by you anytime.
I will send it to you.
Please
I will
send
send it to you.
That would make me. That's one of my favorite episodes of the Boondocks. So.
Yeah, and it really was written to celebrate the dude, because I actually think he's a genius. He does one thing, he does it well, and he knows there's an audience that's going to come to it. And Lord knows he will do that same thing over and over and over and over again. But he knows they will support him over and over and over again.
It's one thing though, when you make the play and then make the movie based on the play, and then do a piece of the show based on that, then I'm like, okay, you're really in your thing. Like, I don't love it, but I respect it.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. I have mad respect for him, because I think he actually brought a lot of black people back to theater.
Oh yeah.
Who have never even stepped foot in a theater house before. So
Yeah, I
kudos
agree.
to
My
him.
grandmother and my mom, when they would do Tyler Perry, he would come through. They would go see it. They
Hell
would
yeah.
they definitely go see it perform. So yeah, but I can't get with all the tropes, the same old tropes over and over again. I'm black and I'm bald and I
Right.
hate you and I'm gonna marry this white woman.
Right.
Like,
And then we
Yo.
pray at the end and Jesus saves us all.
Yeah, the black men in like the first like 6, 7 were very problematic. Like to a man. Like other than Shamar Moore that one time. I
Yeah.
feel like every black man in the movies was terrible. And like everybody who was in Mr. Brown in like the first 4 plays was pretty bad too.
absolutely. Yeah. I can only agree. Have you watched any Tyler Perry stuff?
Even the preachers weren't even like.
I mean, I've seen like a few like the Medea movies. I haven't really watched anything else.
You're not missing anything.
You've seen them all.
You've seen them all.
Yeah.
You've seen one.
The
you've seen
plays
all.
are more. I think the plays are more important than the movies.
Yeah.
I agree. Those first ones.
The first like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what. I think
Yeah.
he just blew up too quick.
Yeah.
And
Oprah backing.
I think he was writing them. I think he was writing them with a deadline. He was just writing plays with a deadline. Like he was on the road writing plays, trying to get one ready, have somebody start doing them. I don't think he was sitting down. I feel like the first ones he had time because he was broke and he was like had time to actually make him what he wanted to be.
Yes.
Once the ball started rolling, he was just like, I just need to write. I just need to be writing stuff and putting them out, sending it out.
Yeah. Well, I've seen like snippets of his sitcoms, and that kind of leads me to the thing we were always talking about earlier. Do you think about writing sitcoms, or like what was your favorite like sitcoms as
You know what?
vintage sitcoms?
Me and a
going on?
friend got into this heated discussion because he was like, like the sitcom is dying.
Right.
And the whole opening theme song that we used to all have, like people don't do that anymore. But
It's a shame.
I miss like the little 30-minute, like you just attached to those characters, you knew them. Like I just remember Martin Living Single, freaking Golden Girls. You can still watch those today. And you're just like, this is family.
If I could be in something that was as impactful as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I would feel
Yes.
complete. I've been rewatching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was like, this show is amazing. I can't. There's nothing about it I don't like. There's nothing about it like. Hillary's character is kind of dumb for like.
She's not kind of dumb. She's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of like I don't see
She's a
her
bag of
point
rocks.
until later on in the show. Like it just took for some reason they just took a while to develop her. But like Ashley had good development early on. Carlton, Will, Aunt Viv, original Aunt Viv.
Original.
Original Aunt Viv is so spectacular, and like I haven't gotten to the part where they switched them yet, and I'm just waiting to be disappointed because original Aunt Viv is amazing.
They stopped writing for the new one too, though. You notice?
They did. She just always was just
No
kinda
offense to Daphne Maxwell Reid, but
she was just a housewife. Like
she's
they
just-
didn't give her any dimension.
She was there. She was another person reading some lines.
It was the same thing with what Family Matters did the same thing.
Family Matters did it, but it was like already too late. Like they was
Yeah.
already too late. But
You have
they
to
weren't.
know
They
when
weren't
to
developing her
cancel.
enough too. And the show, that show was different because it was based on Harriet to start off, and then Steve
Yes.
Urkel kind of just changed what
I
that was supposed to
forgot
be.
that. Yeah.
Because her character was the main character of how the show started, and then they made it more family, and then Steve Urkel showed up, and then she was just kind of there.
Isn't that the saddest thing though when they don't know when to end the show and it just kind of has this fizzle of them trying to save it and it never ever works. And it's just like season 10, half the people are gone. It's like, what is going on? What is this now?
That's another thing about Fresh Prince. They kind of got it. They got in and out before it would have, like,
Yes.
before it was all the way falling apart.
Yeah, because that ending's tough for me. That's Fresh Prince ending, the ending the Community. What other sitcom? The ending. I just like every time I watch them, I just go, "Ooh, this hurts." It hurt me to watch. Like I was like, "All right, time to rewatch it." Like in the Community ending, shit. 3 of the main cast are gone, and that still hurt.
Yeah.
God, I love that show. I'm about to rewatch it again, and I just finished rewatching it.
I was about to say it's on Netflix now. Like the
The
whole
Cosby Show ending is emotional, but it was time.
Yeah.
They had tied it up in a bow, but it was just kind of like the finale was really good. It made you miss everybody that you had seen a little bit.
I don't remember the Cosby finale.
Theo graduates, and they have like all the family try to come to it, and they like call Denise, and they got like they're trying to get all the tickets for it,
Mhm.
and the grandparents show up, and what's the neighbor's name? What's his neighbor? Not Bud. I mean Bud is his name, but like what's his name? But everybody shows up to it. It's just very kind of cool, and they do like a little dance off at the end of it. And they like that. That's like another thing was they had this doorbell that was messing up the whole season. At the very end, they fixed the doorbell, and they just do at the end they do this little dance. Cliff and Claire do this little dance, and they just like walk off
the
and like
set.
all the people are clapping. And you see all the cast, and it's just kind of like that was cool. And it's kind of like a whole very emotional wrap to wrap the bow around all that season. But it was time for them to end it when they ended it.
How many seasons did the Cosby Show have? What?
8?
74. It was just 8?
It was 8.
It felt
It's
like, because all those openings they had, it felt like 74.
The openings are so crucial though. They have
That's
like
what I love about those shows.
openings are crucial, and they were different songs for a Cosby Show too.
Yes.
Like every time, I don't know if it was different jazz people that made them, but everyone was different. Every dance was different. They got better. The kids started doing their own little dances in there too. Michael Jamal Warner used to get down towards the back end of it.
I just watched the episode where he's in Fresh Prince where he sues him
Oh, for hitting the car?
for hitting the car.
Oh, yeah.
For hitting the car and get the what was it called? Not the Batmobile. Damn, I forgot. He's had a stupid name for that car. Him and Jazz.
Yeah, it said the license plate said
It said
cold chillin'.
License plate said cold chillin'. Oh man.
You remember when Michael Jamal Warner could act? That was cool. He figured out after a while.
He could. When did he forget?
Somewhere in the mid '90s. Malcolm and Eddie's not a good show.
Because he had another
he was in
show, didn't
Community.
he?
He had Malcolm and Eddie, which is not a good show. He had that show with Tracy Ellis Ross, which was not a good show. And you know it's not a good show because Tracy Ellis Ross went and did Blackish, and that's a good show.
Yeah.
And the only thing that changed was the man that was acting with her. Because it's basically the same show. But the other show was bad.
I liked him in Community.
Well,
but
Kenya Barris is probably a better
I like
writer
Community.
too than whoever was on that. But also, Michael Jamal Warner can't act. No offense. Little offense.
But none of those kids can act. Now that I think about it, because Rudy.
Raven can still act.
Yeah.
Raven can still act, but she had to go through a little crazy period first.
I bet Lisa Bonet can act, but she kind of crazy. She crazy. But I feel like she could probably still act if she so desired.
She's crazy.
I feel like she just kind of was wild. Not crazy. Wild. Crazy is not the right word.
Eccentric.
Crazy is not the right word.
Eccentric.
Wild. Eccentric is the right word.
Yeah, she just gives me just bohemian.
Correct.
Isn't she
Spirit
married
animal.
to Jason Momoa?
She is married to Jason Momoa.
And they had like a girlfriend or something like that.
And she had Zoe Kravitz with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, that's a wild thing. That's a wild thing to do.
I understand it though.
I Lenny. I understand.
I understand it.
If I could be Lenny, I'd be Lenny.
If I could be Lisa, I'd be Lisa.
Right.
She would Jason Momoa.
She was Jason Momoa.
And to have a whole show written for you, a different world, and then
That's
you just,
crazy too.
Then you leave it.
And she loved that. She was like, I'm off that. Like, this is great. People love me. People love me, but I'm off that.
Yeah, you can have it.
Have this. Make the whole show without me. And then she came back and they're like, all right, we're gonna give you a whole husband, do a whole daughter thing. And she's like, I'm leaving that too.
Yeah.
Super disrespectful.
Very
and then,
disrespectful.
old girl when she was in Fresh Prince, that one episode when she's like in college, she's the older woman. That
Jasmine Guy?
Yeah, Jasmine Guy. And then I was like watching. I've been watching. I was like, they set them up with like 3 different girls that they were like, this could be the one, and then they just nix it for no real reason.
Well, I guess Jasmine Guy was still in a different world, so that was never gonna happen.
But it was set up that way.
Yeah, but she was still in a different show. She was a star of a show, so she ain't have time to film 2 shows.
Queen Latifah was on there twice,
Queen Latifah was on it twice.
and
Vivica A. Fox is on there. They had a lot of guest stars on there
Nia Long was on there.
for a whole season. Yeah,
No, but she was on there before that.
I don't recall that.
Remember the episode where the second episode that Queen Latifah comes on, where they do the straw thing
When she's like in high school,
in high school, when she's in high school.
I don't remember the
Nia Long is the girl that he took to the prom.
Okay,
Shoot, you have me going
I
back
didn't-
and
yeah, I
watching
don't-
again now.
Hey,
don't remember that.
hey, I've been in a deep dive for the
I
last
see,
about
I
5
see.
days. I've been rewatching them. That's all I do. I get home, I work on my computer, and I watch it while I'm working. I love Fresh
My
Prince.
sister watched a lot of Martin. Like,
Martin.
she probably watched.
You know,
Martin right
and I
now.
couldn't stand Martin when I first saw it in the 90s. And I started to watch it again. It's like, why do I like it really, as far as kind of just the comedy of it all? I was like, he actually did some really smart characters and like really bold choices.
Martin is underrated for me.
It was, yeah, it really was. But hey,
I remember when really little watching it and like getting a lot of bad manners from it. But then we started watching again, like when it started getting like super syndicated. And I just always thought it was just kind of crazy how much stuff he was doing per episode.
yes.
Yeah.
In just any one episode, he's the main character, and he also might be like 2 other characters.
He was kind of doing a mini Eddie thing.
And I don't know if he was. I don't even know who was writing them or how much of it he was writing. But like, he had to be the one making all the characters. So the fact he was doing all those characters and people were waiting to see them characters, it's kind of crazy to me.
How do y'all feel about the Jamie Foxx show? Did you
Hated
know,
it.
Did you know Jamie Foxx had a show?
I hated
No, I
it.
didn't.
You didn't know there. What, you hated it and you didn't know there was a Jamie Foxx show?
It's not very good.
What?
This is why. There was like
Fancy.
it got to the
Oh,
point
she's not
where
great.
he just I hate when singers get on a show and they can't stop singing on the show. It's kind of like that scene in the Fighting Temptations when Beyonce's driving and she's listening to her own self like driving in the car. I'm just like, are you an actor? Or
His character devolved into like the singing thing, and it didn't really go with the hotel.
Well,
Once
no,
he
but
started
he was
leaving-
working. He was working at the Jingle Place.
Yeah, but
No,
like,
yeah.
the Jingle Place was cool, and there was some funny stuff. But like once he kind of moved from the hotel, the show wasn't really the same show.
You just started having these random pianos, and he would just like, "Oh, here's a piano. I'm going to sing for 45 seconds, and the audience is going."
There's like a
Woo!
There's like a
Yeah.
20-minute clip of him singing on the Jamie Foxx show, and it's none of it's like jingles. It's just like him. He randomly was like in a asylum with the Temptations. So it's like, oh, I guess we gotta play this song. And then it's like there was some random time his aunt and uncle having an anniversary, so he got to sing some R. Kelly out of nowhere. It's just like, all right, man, I know you can sing, but chill out.
Yeah,
but that was
we
before he
got
was
it.
really singing, so he probably felt like he had to prove something because he didn't have a music career yet.
That's true.
So I felt like he's trying to prove something. And then after Any Given Sunday, he felt like he needed to be like prove like he was a star.
Right.
So I feel like the show kind of fell apart as he got more successful.
I love Any Given Sunday.
Did you like Any Given Sunday?
I love Any Given Sunday.
He hated it.
You don't like any? Wait, you hate Any Given Sunday?
Me and Adam Wilson.
Me and
last
them and
episode.
Adam. The last episode, him and Adam Wilson badmouth Any Given Sunday. Any Given
Really?
Sunday is one of my
Why do you
favorite
hate it?
sports movie.
I
I'm
mean,
Billy
there's
Beeman.
that one out.
Billy Beeman. I get the ladies.
Beeman.
There's that one Al Pacino scene when he's the coach, and that one was pretty cool. You know, you hear that all the time. But then, like the rest of it was just kind of like a
LL
boring
Cool J
movie.
doing coke off of titties. You didn't like that?
I mean, I can see that anywhere.
Lawrence
That
Taylor being absolutely crazy.
already happened. Like,
Jim Brown saying he don't get concussions, he give them
Yup.
as a coach. That was cool as hell.
My
Yeah,
man
that's
with the
pretty
butt chin as the medical officer, like trying to be
Yeah,
ethical,
yeah.
trying to be an ethical doctor, and they're like, drug us up. We need to hit people.
My man from Scrubs pretending he was Jim Rome. It's a very good movie.
I only
He's
seen
like-
it like twice because I didn't like it.
See, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
again.
he's like,
You need to
I
watch it
still
again.
don't
Dennis
like it.
Quaid being like the washed up quarterback trying to get his life together. It's very important. It's a good movie.
But Keanu Reeves did that better.
I disagree with that at all.
No.
If we want to talk about overrated movies, Replacement is overrated.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
man.
like replacement.
Replacement is overrated.
Better than Any Given Sunday.
It's not true.
No. Matter of fact, here, Any Given Sunday, it's a prediction of Tom Brady this season.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tom Brady is right now.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And it was in Florida too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we forgot that's not Denise Richards. That's
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Come on, man.
Come on.
Y'all know
dog.
this movie. But I gotta go back and watch it.
Any Given Sunday, you gotta go watch it because
It's a top 5 football movie.
Or
That's
actually,
not
you
a
know
hard
what?
list,
It's Drew
though.
Brees. It's Drew Brees. It's not Tom Brady. It's
Oh,
Drew
because he
Brees.
couldn't get replaced by a black quarterback.
Yes, it's Drew Brees. Any Given Sunday is a prediction of what's going to happen to Drew Brees.
So other than Replacements, because you're wrong about that. What's another better football movie? Don't say Remember the Titans. We already know that.
Yeah, that was literally the top.
That's number one.
There's not many good football movies though.
Okay.
That's my
Friday
opinion.
Night Lights.
So corny. That movie is so corny.
You're right. You're infuriating me.
I'm so glad that
the last
you-
scene
I like
that was supposed to be
Waterboy.
like the climax of the
Waterboy
movie.
is a good movie.
That's a
Better
good
than-
movie.
It's better than Replacements too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yep.
I don't know if it's better than Any Given Sunday.
It's better than Any Given Sunday.
No, it's not, man. We're gonna put a poll up when we put this episode up
Don't know. You're gonna be wrong.
because you're wrong. Both you and Adam Wilson are wrong, and I can call him on the phone and just tell him he's wrong at any point in time. I'm
Then why
sorry.
didn't you tell him he was wrong on the podcast?
I did tell him. I said Any Given Sunday was.
Why are you yelling at Wes? Never mind. I know why you continue.
Mhm.
Did I have to say it out loud?
No.
You know why.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We got off of sitcoms and the sports movies and Jamie Foxx.
What's your favorite sitcom?
We never asked you.
It's probably Home Improvement.
Dude, I was thinking about that when you were talking about like
I
you
know
were talking
you.
about 90s sitcoms.
I've met
That's
you
like the only one I can kind of think
I've met you
about.
before. I know you.
And then he said all the characters, and then the neighbor and
Wilson,
The
yeah.
fence.
Wilson.
Yeah, and I was
Yes.
like thinking of Wilson. I'm like, do we see his chin at the end of the thing? I don't remember.
I think you see him one time in the whole show.
Okay, because I feel like that
I
is a
forget which
special
episode.
moment.
No, you see the bottom, but you don't see the top,
Top.
whenever you see it. You never see his
Yeah.
whole face.
Like they're
You
in
can
his
s-
house or something.
You can
like
piece
that.
together his whole face, but you can't. You never
This
show
is
the
his
whole
mouth
thing.
and his.
Yeah, whenever
can't
they
see
do,
his mouth,
they show
yeah.
that part sometimes, but they won't show the whole. They never show the whole face.
Yeah, and it's always from like this shot.
Uh-huh.
It's very great.
Yeah, it's. I used to
Home
watch-
Improvement was good though.
Home Improvement wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, he was out here getting lines off every episode.
Yeah.
They gave him the best lines.
Home Improvement. I used to watch that one sitcom for a little bit. LL Cool J.
In the House?
In the House.
I used to watch In the House.
I used to
With
watch
Debbie
that.
Allen and him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to watch that.
And then they fired her and they put Kim Wayans on there and my man from Fresh Prince, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yep.
And they ran it back for a little while.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper was good.
I was watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper on YouTube during this Corona. It's not great, but it's kind of still good.
What's the one with the?
Cooper.
I never watched that one.
It was on, I forget, I think it was on ABC back in the gap.
Wayne's
The Wayne Brothers? Or
No.
My Wife and Kids?
My Wife and Kids.
My Wife and Kids, it was started great, it kind of got real silly.
It got That's one of the shows
It started great though.
that show started so funny, and then it just went
That was like the last phase of like
sitcoms.
good sitcoms, and they
Sitcom.
started to fall off.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World was my good one too. I used to love that.
I've watched that during,
Topanga.
Yeah.
I've watched that during the
Topanga thick.
Yeah.
during the Rona. Some of them, the way they hit when you were little and the way they hit now are very different. It's very cool.
Yeah.
See some real stuff that was happening in there that you didn't really see at the time, especially with Feeney and Mr. Matthews and all that stuff. Seeing some of that stuff that you didn't even think about whenever you're watching it. There was just like stuff to get the time by. And you really hearing them kind of differently. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And even with Fresh Prince, there's a lot of sex jokes I never caught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There, I was like, oh, he was fucking. Like, Carlton was like, I'm gonna tell Dad that's not a lucky $50 in your wallet. I was like, yo, wait. I was like, what? wait, pause, run it back. Prince was out here like that in the show, and then I thought about it. He ain't missed any.
They had all the very special episodes too, which was very important.
Mm-hmm.
They had the one where Will got shot
Yep.
and Carlton went to go get the yacht.
Mm. The infamous dad scene.
They had the how come you don't want me no more?
Yes.
The driving a car scene.
When they got arrested?
That's like episode 6 of
When they got arrested
Yeah,
for being black.
that's like episode 6, first season.
They had the one where Carlton took them pills,
Oh God, yeah.
the speed pills. He was doing that
Oh,
crazy
Jesus.
dancing.
I always feel bad for Carlton every time I watch it because his career didn't go anywhere.
Yo, then you give him his flowers. He's very talented.
He's
Yeah.
so good, but
He's
it
good.
was like kind of like the Urkel thing. Like you had such this iconic character, and once the show was over, nobody could see you as anything else.
I feel like he has a lot of sitcom stuff under him. I just don't know if people ever thought of him as like a leading guy. But he got like a lot of episodes of TV under his belt.
Yeah,
You forgot when he went and stayed with Jazz and them.
That's the
Compton?
greatest episode ever. That's my favorite episode. Where he becomes a C note. That's my favorite episode.
C-Note. And I never even realized how smart that was. Carlton Banks, C-Note.
That was great. It was so great.
And then they had the episode
MacArthur Park.
the episode where Will didn't play as hard because he wanted the other boy to get the scout, the NBA scout, not the college scout to look for him.
Oh
in the
yeah, I
basketball
think that's
game.
Alan Payne in there.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was like, man, this show is running numbers on me right now.
That's good. It's a good show.
Now, yeah, for some reason, like now I feel like when I watch a sitcom and I don't know if it's just me being older and just already aware of those kind of things, but like now it's like, I feel like sometimes they try to beat you over the head with it. And it's
Yes.
and then if they don't do that, then they're too silly. And it's so weird. There's not like a really good balance. Like I watched Space Force in the last 2
How
weeks.
is that?
I thought was very well executed for what it is, because it's basically The Office-ish, but in a military setting. And but there's a lot more seriousness to it because like it's a little bit different, and then it's like so relevant because they tie in Trump in it a lot, but they don't call him Trump. They just call POTUS. And so like Steve Carell will fuck up, or Steve Carell will do something, and then he'll get a text from POTUS, and there'll be some wild shit, and then you're laughing. But like they have that, they tie in like our fear of China in the show a lot. The second episode, probably one of the funniest things I've watched that's original in the last couple weeks.
What was the second episode? I've seen like 9 out of the 10. I got to go home and watch the 10th episode.
With the dog and the monkey.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
Oh my God, I'm gonna watch it.
The first episode is kind of hard to get through, but the second episode, it just like the first episode is just kind of world building, and then the second episode literally is how the whole show is for the rest of it, and it's like that episode. Fucking,
You gonna explain it?
I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know.
It's like
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
All I'm gonna say is they send a dog and monkey as test pilots into space.
Okay,
And
that's
some
all I
shit.
need to watch. I'm sold.
You have my attention. Yes.
It's
watch.
good. It's good, and like I loved it, and after that's got me hooked, and I just ran the whole thing through. But Steve Carell does a very good job. The writing's pretty good. There's 2 things I hate about it. There's one guy with a southern accent from Alabama that it's just a bad southern accent. And then and his daughter's character is just whiny for no real reason. She's like, she's just like a not well written character. I didn't really understand her point in the show.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about shows like that, and they get better after the second season. Like The Office first season was pretty like lame.
Disagree.
Really? And then, all right, well, I'll go with the Parks and Rec's first season.
I agree.
Yeah. That first season kind of sucked, and then they world built it off of that, and then every episode's funny after that. So that might happen with Space Force. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to catch on. It's going. I see it catching on. The way they did it, it was good enough to where it's gonna. If this is their worst season, and I think it was pretty well done. There's only like 2 episodes I didn't care for or didn't laugh at. It's gonna be a thing because they have so much material, especially if you know who gets reelected. So,
How do you feel about like 90s sitcoms slowly change into like 1,000 like mockumentaries and stuff? You know, like with the Office.
Yeah, I hate the thing I like is now you can kind of take everything down to this specific niche that is specific to like you can even do a show for 12 people because you just have so many outlets. But I miss the thing where everybody watched the same show.
yes,
Because like I can't keep up. I'll go to my job and I've got people that love sci-fi, and what used to be just a Star Trek, they're like, well, no, now you have like these 14 segmented like shows that are just sci-fi, and I'm like, I can't watch all of these, and it's overwhelming. It really is.
there's too many options almost.
Yeah, like we used to all be able to say, Saved by the Bell, Golden Girls, Living Single. Everybody knew what you were talking about, but now it's like, did you see Monkey and Toto? And I was like, what?
Have you watched Ozark?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm just now getting on it, but like
I haven't watched it, and I'm almost at the point where I'm not. I haven't seen the Tiger King documentary. I haven't seen Ozark. Haven't watched Breaking Bad.
you never seen Breaking Bad?
Never
You
watched
might
it.
need to do that though.
Like I
that was-
just watched
it.
Game of Thrones. Forgive me, but
I was late on Game of Thrones too, but I was
still
late
not
on Game
there.
of Thrones because people were spoiling it in public.
But I can understand Game of Thrones because an episode is a fucking movie.
Yeah.
This is like,
Sitcoms should be easier.
yeah.
It's
It's
yeah, if you miss one, you don't.
Miss
You're
everything.
not like ending the world. That's
Yeah.
why I like, and it was easy, and it was just fun, and you could eat Cheetos and watch it. You didn't have to say nobody talk, nobody say anything. We have to digest every moment. And sometimes with TV, I just miss the simplicity of it.
Yeah. It's too
decompressing.
complicated sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like certain shows like that. I mean, I don't know if you could ever syndicate Game of Thrones, but I like shows where you could just watch a random episode and you're not gonna be messed up by watching something like another part. Like you're not gonna be like thrown off by the idea of it. And certain drama, like that's why Law and Order is gonna be on TV forever. Because sometimes you just want to watch a single
Right.
episode or something and not know what was going on before and after. And Law and Order is great for just turn on one episode. We're gonna rock out for this hour. Don't really need to know a lot about everything else. I know who these characters are. And we're gonna figure out what happens. And then after that hour, we're gonna watch something for real.
What do you think was the last great sitcom that came out?
Ooh.
Classic.
Like Laugh Track.
Laugh Track, yes.
Ooh, that's hard.
maybe Seinfeld. Everybody loves Raymond. I know people really like it. I never loved it. It would make
I
you
liked
laugh,
it.
but I never loved it.
King of Queens.
Seinfeld might be my answer.
Trying to figure out what year it ended.
Will and Grace is one of my favorite shows.
You know what? I actually have to say Will and Grace.
Will and Grace is one of my favorite
You're gonna say
shows.
Will and Grace?
Yeah.
Will and Grace. One of my
It
favorite
was
shows.
just smart. Like even when I go back and watch, I'm like, this was really
The
smart.
characters are so. Every character's good and like great, and the scripts match the characters. I don't know. And it's another show. Like if you just watch one episode, you don't really need to know a whole lot about anybody because you're gonna get it based on how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. It might be Will. I think I might say Will. I might say Will and Grace.
How about you?
I can't think of like a left. Like I'm trying to like boil it down to the year. I'm guessing like my guess would be that 70s show would be my thing.
Ooh.
But it had the bad last 2 seasons too.
Oh, but, I mean, just because it has a bad last 2 seasons, I'm just because
How I Met Your Mother's easier to watch, but I don't think it's really great.
That's
Yeah,
hardest to
it's
finish.
just easier to
Oh my
watch.
god.
There's just so many episodes.
Yeah.
so many episodes. It's just like
Well, eventually that love triangle gets old too.
Yeah.
Is the Big Bang Theory still on?
I think it just ended.
I think it just ended.
it just
They had like 12 seasons then.
Like that one I would say was smart. I don't know how it ended up because I fell off of it, but yeah, Will and Grace.
The first couple seasons of Big Bang were good. People like to trash it, but the first couple seasons were pretty good.
oh yeah, I used to love Big Bang.
Script was pretty tight.
Scrubs didn't have a laugh track, did it?
No. It had a narrator. So that's because I couldn't have.
Yeah.
I like shows that have narrators. That's different from the mockumentary. I like the narrator.
Yeah.
Mockumentary kind of got played out a little bit, even though they're always good. But
Ooh, Malcolm in the Middle.
I don't remember how
forgot
Malcolm
about
in the Middle
that one.
it
ended,
didn't
but
make
I
me laugh
loved-
out loud that much. But it was
There
humorous.
was one scene that I'll always laugh at, and that's whenever they stole the fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the whole like sky turns to daylight. Oh my god, that shit's
I do think Malcolm in the Middle made like an archetype for how TV shows kind of work, because like the know-it-all son and like the young scheming son and like the old dumb son and like the kind of the zany dad and kind of the take charge mom. Like I feel like a lot of people copied that after the fact.
Arrested Development feels like a very direct copy of that.
Arrested Development. What show just came out that Arrested Development is the same show?
Is it Curb Your Enthusiasm or
I can't think. It just came out, but I can't think of what it was. But it's like the same thing as Arrested. It's the same thing as Arrested Development. Somebody in Arrested Development is also in that show, but I can't remember what it was. Arrested Development is really, really good, but that's another show. If you can't watch it, you got to watch it in order.
You have to watch it.
It doesn't really make sense out of order.
Yeah.
that show gets too
There's
uncomfortable.
there's
for me every once in a while.
so many inside jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot in that
That's
show.
one of my favorite I would say it's one of the top comedies
Mhm.
in the 2000s for sure for me.
The first time I watched that was great. I'm trying to think of that show that is basically just no, I can't think of it right now.
Oh, I do have one question about the Tyler Perry thing. You said
Yeah.
that's
Speaking
way
of-
older.
Bash it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it through all of our conversations. Yeah, so you talked about how you decided to pull it and, maybe do it later whenever, Tyler Perry's not as hot.
Well, and I'm going to rework it because when I saw it staged, you can't help but make fun of those themes because I have issues with how he just takes one stereotype and it's like the black woman in everything is this archetype and this is like you can't manipulate him or change out of that box.
I'll be the dark skinned brother.
Yeah, it was just like drugs. Then we get to Jesus, and then we get to the grandma that comes with the gun to save. And so, what I want to do is rework it and maybe pull the Tyler Perry out of it and actually make it just about kind of that entire industry itself, because it is a form of theater and its own thing. But I don't want people to walk in and just say, "Oh, you're bashing Tyler Perry," because it really was much bigger than that. It was.
Exploitation of black trauma, really.
Yeah. It's kind of, exactly. And that's what I wanted to kind of portray, but
when you start casting and you need someone to be the archetype dark skinned person, I want to be that guy. I'll put on a ball cap
there you go.
and I want to be that. I want to be that in the play.
Gotcha.
I think that's me at my zenith.
I have a question for you, Greg.
Yes.
Do you think that, because we talk about Tyler Perry a lot,
Mm-hmm.
We do talk about the stereotypes that he builds. Do you think that there's a black exploitation in theater and then also a black exploitation in Broadway where people of color and also black people are asked to relive their trauma or recreate stereotypes for an audience that A, isn't their own, or B, for, I guess, what's the word, for a higher pay cut?
Yeah.
You see it a lot in Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are asked to play stereotypes.
Yes.
Or sometimes they're asked to act black. Could you like talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, like, okay, my feeling on Tyler Perry is it doesn't bother me as much because it's black people kind of making fun of some black people. Like, it just, there's an exchange there that is understood. But then on the same time, we have shows that, like Showboat, and it's difficult because I've done Showboat, and you walk in, and the first thing the white director is telling you is, I need you all to act like slaves. And then he goes on to tell you what slaves act like. And I literally remember a director telling me during a production of Parade that I did, he was just like, you're not black enough. I'm like, what are you saying? And then he was like, I need not slave, but like, I was like, what do you want? Because it was like,
You want me to be Denzel in Glory?
yeah, Big Mom on the couch. What are you looking for? And it just got to the point where I was like, in your mind already who this character is. I have no room to be an actor. You just want a puppet. And you're not even that concerned about the development of this scene or the humanity of this character, because in your mind, you got something that was in a movie that was done in 1920 that you're looking for, and that's all you can see. Because I was just like, dude, I'm playing like a chauffeur. Like I'm not going to be doing, and I was trying to explain to him, but he just, yeah. But yeah, I'm totally with you. It's like, I think, and people disagree with me, I think there's some shows that just need to die. And we understand that it's based in racism. It had its time, but it doesn't need to be done again. People, and kind of like the memorials that are falling down everywhere, I'm like, it's just time for them to go. They don't mean what you think they mean. And thank God we've developed enough to know that now. And let's just close that chapter so we can move on to the next one. And then freaking create new work. That's what it's supposed to be about. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
I mean, I agree with you. And that sometimes even in comedy, like I feel like we are pigeonholed into like what your idea of even just a black comic is. And there's been great strides in the last couple years breaking out of that mold. Like we had the big Kings of Comedy run, and then that everyone wanted everyone to be a Eddie or a Bernie or a DL or Chris Rock. That was
Nobody wanted to be DL.
Yeah, whatever.
I actually
Also, I liked his show. I liked his sitcom. I like DL's sitcom, The Hughleys.
But was it better than Steve Harvey's sitcom or Bernie Mac's sitcom?
No.
So even in that room, you ain't want to be DL Hughley. No offense, but a little offense. Like he was different. He went first for a reason.
Yeah, but now like we have we're kind of breaking out, and comedy in general is just like more about the personal experience than the observation, and it's still hard though. It's still hard, especially like when we go out to bars and stuff and perform our comedy here. I feel like they want me to do what they've seen on TV.
I do miss pop culture too, because pop culture references, it's very hard to do now.
Yeah.
I do miss that crutch, because like that's easy to talk about.
Well, let me ask you all a question. Because I'm really interested, how do you handle this new kind of society that we live in where there's sensitivity with what you can say? And do you feel like comics should not play? Like, because a lot of comics have been attacked recently for insensitive comedy, if you want to say it that way. But do you also think like, what do you take on that? I don't know. I'm interested to know.
For me, I feel like a comic should be able to say what he wants when he wants, but a comic also has to understand the repercussions of that, especially if they make a take and that take is wrong.
Yeah.
You have to live with that. But funny is funny. at the very end of the day for us. If it's funny, and I mean actually funny and not like hokey pokey funny, go for it. Do it. That's live it. Like if you want to build a set about hell, I want to talk about how I'm mad that my aunt didn't die from COVID, and I think I can make it funny. That's an idea I have in my book. If I can do it, it's good. But I feel like now more than ever we have to, I think, take care that we're not just reacting to people calling us out for comedy, and really understand they're like, no, we just want you really to think hard about what you're saying and make sure that's what you want to say. Because I don't think anyone would have a problem if you have X, Y, and Z reasons why you're going for this. And like if I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense, but that's kind of where I stand with it. Like,
no, I dig it. Yeah,
I'm not changing my comedy up just because a subject might be hard or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I can do something and I can execute it and make them feel and think along the lines I'm thinking so they can get where I'm coming from. I'm going to try it.
I think comics get in trouble now. I feel like it's very rare that they get in trouble from something they said on stage. I think they get in trouble when they do something on social media or on a podcast under some guise of like that persona of that wherever they try to do on stage, and it doesn't come off the same way. So the part that's offensive doesn't really have like the tongue-in-cheekness of it, because you can't tell that they're necessarily doing a bit or doing an act. Gotcha. So it kind of seems more legitimate. Like you can make a joke about something that sounds kind of homophobic on stage, and it might be a little questionable, but if you get the laugh, it'll probably work itself out. Yeah. When you do something that doesn't have a laugh after, and you just kind of keep going on and on a podcast, it's harsh to make that not seem mean-spirited. Gotcha. Because no one's laughing at it, you're just kind of going into it. So there's nothing different than that. Just sounds like a take as opposed to a joke. And if it's your take and you kind of defend it, then it sounds like that's your thing. And the same way with a tweet. No one knows the nuance in your tweet if you're being sarcastic or not.
You're right.
So if you just say a joke like that, it just looks like something crazy. And if you say it, if it was 8 years ago, you don't even know what you meant by it because you don't have any. There's nothing to set it up. It's just context. It's no context for it. So now you can look kind of crazy.
That makes sense.
Because we've said stuff on this show, but like, I don't know, someone could like cut one specific part of the show and probably be like, what did you mean by that? And I'd be like, oh, I was referencing this thing that we do on stage and all that. But
yeah, soundbite will kill you.
Yeah, soundbite will kill you.
Soundbite will mess you up.
Yes.
Yeah. But, Terrence and I and Wes and Jeremiah, we all have a personal rapport with each other,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wes less than others, but.
Why is that?
Because you don't say some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you chill in the cut.
He's a one-liner.
He is. Also, I mean, I feel like if you took part of your jokes, Wes, out of context, they would kind of sound crazy. But on stage, they're fine.
Really?
Like if you just gave like, if you just did some of your punchlines on here, you would be problematic. But it works in the joke.
People will kill us.
Well, that's also the weird thing too, because since I write jokes like that, you don't want to like cross that line. But like you were saying, if it's funny, it's cool. You write the joke, you have to try it to see if it's funny. So that first time is really tough, to like hype yourself up for it. But once you do it, not to do it again or to keep going with it. So
sometimes you just need to change a couple words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching Dave Chappelle's special recently. And I was like, the thing I like about a comic is they allow you to question what you would always be afraid to question, or to face what you would never kind of acknowledge in public. Like they force those uncomfortable themes in a way that it's funny, so it's not threatening. But I was like, I want to make sure comics don't lose that, where all we could talk about is unicorns and roses. Like, in a weird way, y'all are kind of like the advocates for freedom of speech, but also to bring out the silliness and stupidity and humanity so that we could deal with it. And I think we have to leave some room for that. But yeah.
Well said.
And I mean, I think when you see like most of like the comics getting canceled or whatever, it's mainly just like a core group of people who say it. And then if you see it's trending, like if it's a big comic, literally everyone else, backing that comic up. So I think it's not as big of a problem as the people who are supportive of comedy make it out to be.
Well, I think we've gone on for quite some time. I think we're gonna
So much time.
so much time. That means it's been a good episode. It means there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good takes, sitcoms, drama, things like that. Is there anything else? Anyone have another question before we end this? And Jeremiah, no,
Thank y'all for having me. I had a good time. This was easy.
easy.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
I didn't have to put on my NPR voice.
Well, so quick, before we get out of here, can you put like social media handles or anything like that people can find and support the theater if they want to learn more about you?
Check us out, newventuretheater.org. You could Instagram New Venture Theater, Facebook New Venture Theater, or you can follow me, Don't Judge Me, on Instagram at Ellington Soul, or look me up on Facebook, Greg Williams Jr.
Awesome. Terrence, you wanna drop your handles?
No desire.
Can I make up handles for you?
How would that work?
Just you can find Terrence at. You know what? I'm not.
MySpace.
You should have shown up with more creativity if you're gonna do that.
I have a 9 to 5.
Okay, that's fair.
I have a 9 to 5. You want me to do the outro? You're looking at me with those eyes.
Yeah, please do the outro.
Okay, I like
Please,
to hear.
Omar,
I like
please
to
do
hear
the
when
outro.
he say it. From us at No Show Comedy and Open the Mic, thank you so very much for listening. Thank you, Greg, for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Jeremiah for being in the background, making sure this is all going on the up and up. Make sure that we sound good and crisp. If you want to follow the show, go to noshowcomedy.com/open the mic. Support the show there. Listen to all the episodes currently and watch all the other episodes that we have posted. We hope to see you guys IRL pretty soon. And until then, be safe and have a great day. Thank you.